Welcome to this month at Bethel Lutheran Church.
Welcome back.
Yeah, we're glad to be, well, I'm glad to be here. I'm Jennifer Johnson. This is Pastor Al.
Good morning.
Good morning. You're with Bethel Lutheran Church. It seems like a few months I haven't seen you. I go to church, but it's not as...
We take attendance, and we've noticed a disturbing lack
I'm sure
of...
you have, but you know what? You can. It's down in the script. You can check out jennifertotherescue.com. I actually have a new website I'll share with you later, but that is going to take you to the same place. But I'm not the star of the show. Pastor Al is.
I'm not the star of the show.
You're not the star. You know what we should say, though? We should say something about Logan Street signs and banners because they're pretty awesome. And they've got this really newfangled software we're kind of watching ourselves on. It's pretty cool. Glad to be here again and thank Logan Street Signs and Banners for having us. They're very good hosts, very gracious. It's fun to come in and be able to just be here, but then we get to talk about Bethel Lutheran Church, which...
How cool is that?
Yeah, how cool is that? I know it's one of your favorite places.
Yeah.
Whether you'd say that or not. But it is a good place. So, where is Pastor... Where's Pastor Al? He's right here. Where is Bethel Lutheran Church?
Bethel's up at 206th and Cumberland Road, so kind of north of town, actually, out in the cornfields.
Out in the cornfields, yep. It's got, how many? There's quite a few acres there.
We're blessed with about 35 acres. We've developed 10 with the campus and the parking and the Peace Trail and all that. But then we've got room to grow.
Yeah, I was going to say there's always been at least a few more acres there, and I know there could be, I'm sure there's visions down the road of things that could happen. The Peace Trail is kind of a newer, well, it's not new, but it's been there about a year or more?
A little more than a year, almost two. A wonderful Eagle project from one of our kids.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Zach and his father and the troop did a great job kind of laying it out, and then we had a lot of other labor that came alongside and put it together. It's about a third of a mile, maybe close to half-mile loop, and between the plantings and the landscaping, and then some different plaques and stopping points along the way. We've got the Stations of the Cross out there so people can go and they can just exercise, or they can make it a devotional kind of time, or just take a break from the day.
I guess that's kind of what I was thinking, that if people don't know where Bethel is and now they maybe have an idea, they get out there and they say, I just want to check it out. That'd be a good place. Yeah. The weather's still nice. We haven't gotten any real, no cold weather really yet, and so it's a good time to... But you could do that. You can do that in the snow. You could actually go out there. But we're not talking... Why did I say that word? But Bethel has been there for how many years?
Well, we're going to celebrate our 20th anniversary at the end of the month, being there at that site. Bethel as a church is over 160 years old. But 20 years ago, they moved the congregation down from Cicero. And we had a lot of volunteer labor put that church building up. It was just amazing.
I was there.
Were you?
My children were doing stones and everything else. Yeah, it was. Can't believe it's 20 years ago, though. Now, you've been with us how long?
It'll be 3 years next month.
Does it seem like it's been 3 years?
No.
It goes fast, doesn't it?
It really does.
A lot of activities. And you came from we found you, or you found us. How did that work?
Kind of either way, yeah.
Because there's a search that goes on when they're looking for an associate. Or
exactly, for a pastor. Yep, there's a search. And the congregation looks outward, of course, and pastors who are maybe serving other places are also kind of intrigued maybe by congregations that are vacant. So kind of a matchmaking process that we all went through and interviewed over the course of about 3 or 4 months and came out here.
And you were coming from
California.
California, yeah. So I know on your Facebook posts, it seems like you're always still kind of. Do you miss that weather?
No, not really.
Oh, really? Oh,
No.
That's good.
We lived in Fresno for many years, and so that's a pretty hot climate. So I like the change of seasons. I was born and raised outside of Chicago, so that's still part of my muscle memory. So it's kind of fun to be back into that again, hoping for a little more of that frozen water that you mentioned coming from the sky.
You do want that? Oh my goodness!
I know, color me crazy, but
I actually kind of liked you until you said. I'm not sure about that frozen water stuff, but you've been with us 3 years, and I know you do a variety of things. Because I think the last time you were here, we talked about your job description kind of puts you everywhere.
Sure.
Okay, so. I know there's a lot going on at Bethel.
Well, we're back into fall, which is kind of nice. Summer's always a great break, but then come by mid-August, we're ramped back up again for the year. So This month especially, our big focus is the 20th anniversary in the building in October. The other big focus is our fish fry that we do every year.
Oh, yes, that's
Dan's
coming.
fish fry comes out.
When is that? Is that this coming Friday?
No, it's not.
When?
It's the 29th.
29th.
So,
okay, so that
couple
is
weeks.
next
Next
a week. Okay. So now everything that you talk about today is on the Bethel Lutheran Church website.
BethelLutheranChurch.com, so folks can find out
Okay.
more information about these
It's
things.
right up there. Good.
Yep.
Because I know, when we're talking and we know what's going on, and even though we're trying to be, it's just nice to know that they can go to the website and it should be there. Okay, so you're talking about the fish fry.
Yep.
What do we need to know about the fish fry?
It'll be fun and delicious, of
It
course.
will be fun, and it is delicious.
Yep, Dan does a good job. Fish and chicken, of course, so it's nice, good food that way. And then members of the congregation pitch in different sides and desserts and stuff, so it'll be very tasty that way. But it's really a key opportunity for us to support the mission that God's given us. We don't use the money ourselves to pay rent or pay electricity or that kind of stuff. It's only to go to support the 28 missions that we support that are either in this country or here locally in Hamilton County, or then far away international missions too. And so it's really nice. We put a lot of effort into this particular fundraiser, and it is very generous.
I know I've been to a couple of them. I mean, Dan's has quite a reputation. It's good. It's good. So when they have it, usually you got people that just follow him around.
Yep.
So it's, any of the details of it? The time, is it?
From 4:30 to 7:30.
Did you already say that?
Yep,
Probably
so
did.
we expanded it a little bit, and there's certainly an eat-in option, so people can come and can share a meal together that way. Or if they're wanting to slip through on their way home from work or out to an evening obligation, they can do a to-go option as well. So.
Okay, so it's definitely worth it. You make sure you check out the website for that. And that's a week from this Friday already. Can't believe it's almost the end of September. So what's something else? I know there's all kinds. How do you pick which one to talk about? But go ahead.
Sure. The other interesting thing that I think is interesting coming up in October is we've got a new class that's starting on Sunday mornings. We try to offer as many as 4 different adult classes, but one that's really intriguing to me is called The 5 Love Languages, and it's based on a book by Gary Chapman from several years ago, and it takes a look at the ways in which we as people hear with our ears, but also with our hearts, the love or the affirmation that we get from other people. And the context is within a marriage relationship, but it really works pretty well with any relationship. And what are the 5 ways that we receive that affirmation from other people? And if for instance, if we were just talking and I spoke Chinese and you only understood English, we wouldn't be communicating.
Right.
We could be saying wonderful things to each other or about interesting activities or all, but it wouldn't make sense. And the same is true with how we show affection to another person. If the person expects or appreciates that affection coming with words, kind words, and I'm working hard at home and providing a house or providing good food or doing things for my partner, then we're miscommunicating. And so Gary's book is really good to help individuals understand that and then think about it and how they respond to other people.
And that starts in October.
October
And
7th at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, so you know what? Maybe a good time, just take a minute and just tell us again when the services are and the church, because it's changed. If somebody maybe had
From
visited,
a year ago. Yep.
I mean, I can't believe it's been a year already. I'm sure you can't either. But if somebody visited in the past, they do want to check the website out. But what is it?
Yep.
What are the services?
And they'll find more information in terms of what those worship styles are like. But we've got a very casual service on Saturday nights at 5:30. And then we've got worship at 8:45 in a real traditional kind of style. We call it our discipleship hour for kids and adults at 10 o'clock. And then the second contemporary kind of service at 11:11 after that discipleship hour.
It's 11:11, and I know it's just kind of one of those, how can you forget that? It's 11:11. Isn't that the
was
kind of idea? Yes. So we got the fish fry, the new Sunday school. What else? Anything?
It's a little bit in the past, but it's something that's going to pay dividends in this next year. But Pastor Doug just came back from Ethiopia, and he had a marvelous 2 weeks. He went with a group of people, and it was partly a mission opportunity, There was a conference there that he attended with some others from this country, hosted actually by the Norwegian Lutheran Church.
Interesting.
And a bunch of global gathering of different Lutheran church bodies, and so that was cool. But then more directly relating to our congregation, we have two congregations that we support there in the northern part of Ethiopia, up in Desi and Sembeti. So we had got a chance to go and see those folks and bring greetings and to preach. And he was warned ahead of time. He probably needed to shorten his sermons because he tends to go a little long here sometimes.
Occasionally.
He could only preach an hour there.
Oh.
So he's like, oh, how do I do that?
Right,
Even with translation, how do I go that long?
Right.
He had fun doing that, but had a marvelous time seeing the connections that we've built over the years. He went 6 years ago and kind of initiated some of those connections and church-to-church partnerships. And so it's been delightful to see the fruits of that, because we've been in touch regularly since then, and leaders have come to our congregation since then. So it's been building nicely in those 6 or 7 years.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, I know he was gone. I didn't realize how long he'd been gone. Okay. So what else?
What else is going on? Let's see.
I know you had a
here.
few things that you had
did.
written down.
We have a neighborhood trunk or treat coming up at the end.
That's unbelievable.
I know.
That's a cool thing. What is a trunk or treat, though?
What we do is members of the congregation will pull their cars, SUVs, pickup trucks, whatever, into our back part of our parking lot, and they'll decorate it. And we don't have a specific theme that everybody's following, and so it'll be kind of catch-all, which is always fun. And so then kids and adults can walk along the decorated trunks and get candy like you might do if you went through the neighborhood. Because we're so far out from a neighborhood, we call it our neighborhood trunk or treat, but the neighborhood kind of comes to us, and we create it for folks, because if you're living out outside of town, it's not very easy to walk down, and you go down to the end of the block and you've got 3 houses. So
Right.
we'll have 20, 25 cars in the parking lot.
I think when Leanne was here, I can't believe we were talking about it. It seems like it wasn't a year ago, but I know she said that a lot of people, that's what they do. They don't go to the neighborhoods anymore, or there's, they might do this in addition or whatever, but it's a safer situation, or you want to believe it's more safe, safer. I don't know. One of those sounds better than the other, but so I think I'd love to be, because I don't think we've been around in the past, so it might. And is that on what is the date on that? Is that actually Halloween?
Is that last Saturday, so the 27th?
27th, and I know you
October.
probably said it. For some reason, I'm not absorbing dates today, but okay, so that's
from 4 to 6.
From 4 to 6.
We'll have a hayride and some other games, and then, of course, the trunks people can look at.
And I guess I would say Bethel's really known for having fun and food and stuff like that. So this is right in the same line of events. That's cool.
And if the weather's bad, what we'll do is we'll take the idea and we'll apply it to different rooms in the congregation,
cool.
in the education wing.
Okay.
And just do it that way, or
Well,
parts of rooms.
It's not going to rain. It's going to be beautiful.
No cold.
Nothing.
No.
Nothing. It's going to be great. I can't believe we're already that far away, though. That's not that far away, I guess is what I'm saying. What else you got? You got anything?
The other thing that's touched our lives, I think, in a neat way, and not in a real showy thing, but we have a healing service that happens the first Wednesday of every month. And it's not a matter that people come in on crutches and throw their crutches down and walk off, oh, I'm healed. But there are some examples of that, but the primary thing is the community coming together and to do what Jesus tells us to do, and that is to pray for each other, to bear one another's burdens, to support one another. And there's just a wonderful feeling that's beyond just goodwill kind of feeling. The Spirit's definitely there, and so it's a powerful time for support and for encouragement, for laying before the Lord and the community there the things that are going on in our life in a safe way, and in a way that people are going to support you. So it's really pretty powerful.
And that is, you said, the first Wednesday
at 7 o'clock.
Which it'll be the first Wednesday of October before you know it.
Crazy.
Yeah. I think Pastor Doug, when he had done it, it was kind of like once a quarter or something. So I had participated in a couple of them, and you don't think about it. You think of a healing. There's so many things you could be there for.
Exactly.
I think that's what's interesting.
It is, and part of the intentional idea behind the evening is, folks actually often do come, of course, because they've got surgery coming up or
Right.
something in the past or pending tests or whatnot. But then it's also as much or more so a matter of, emotional healing or other kinds of stresses that we're dealing with in our life. So it's pretty cool.
It's nice that once a month. That's pretty cool.
Yep. And all out of an outgrowth of his own health journey, last
Right,
couple of years
right.
coming through cancer.
Yeah, well, gosh, yeah, that's true. Makes sense, and having it once a month is great. You never. I think Bethel has so many things like that. The 5:30 service. They've got a healing service. They've got all these things that they're just, and I think we talk about it with Leanne here almost monthly, or whoever's here from Bethel. But you really don't have to be a member
Nope.
to do any of this. I think what happens is and not to say we're warning people, get involved and you're going to, but you become part of the family. It's like, why not? Why wouldn't you want to be part of this?
Sure.
Once you get involved, start doing stuff with people. Did you have anything else? I was just going to kind of.
No, those are the big things.
Those are good
Yep.
things. Those are big things. The preschools,
Still going strong.
going strong. We have small groups. We have Pastor Doug has a biking or a
Bethel
motorcycle.
Bikers,
Bethel. There's so many things, and I'm sure they're all on the website, or the majority are, or at least there's a phone number here at the bottom of our screen. But you can also go to BethelLutheranChurch.com, and there's some of the website right there. You can actually watch your sermons on video now.
Yep, we've upgraded
Wow.
our technology in the last couple of months thanks to some very generous gifts, and so we're able to do that very thing. We're not quite to the point of streaming yet, but we post them. If church is done by 12:30, they're posted by 1:30, so folks
Cool.
can
So
catch
if
them
you
there.
can't get there, it's a great place. I think most people, your story to be here to get to Bethel is kind of, well, of course you're here. But everybody that I have on here, I usually am asking, so how did you end up at Bethel? And Leanne Burrow and I, usually our story is very similar, or we came around about the same, maybe a little bit different. I think they might have been first, but usually it sounds like somebody invited them to something, and then they got involved, and they just got not sucked in, but pulled in because it was so contagious, and it was just such a fun place to be. So.
There's an interesting spirit here, and I know I'm kind of the wrong person to say it in the sense I'm the pastor, and of course the pastor's going to say this. But,
Well, you can say it today.
But coming in from other congregations I've served, there's just a unique spirit here, and a sense of purpose and direction, and affirmation and affection that's real genuine. So it's no wonder that people don't have that similar kind of experience that you've described and them stick.
It's been a common thread.
Yeah.
Everybody I talk to seems like they always have something like that. And our story is very, our son, who's now almost 30, getting married very soon, but he was invited to a vacation Bible school by our neighbor, and then it was like, oh gosh, well, we better go to church, and then it was just, the rest is history as it goes. But we thank you for checking in with us today. Did you have? Usually, I ask Leanne or whomever is here. Do you have which I'm sure you have all kinds of Bible verses, or a nice thing you can kind of wrap it all up today with something? Do you have? I always think of upbeat. I always call it. I'm a musician. That's kind of my thing. An upbeat. Something to leave everybody. If you don't, I will have some really bad joke or something. So you better think of something. I've heard some really, and they're not distasteful. They're just stupid. So
like the puns I typically post on
yes,
Facebook.
and you do that. Yes. So find him on Facebook. You'll enjoy his puns. Yes.
Yeah.
Any thought?
Boy, the one that came to mind right away is always from Romans 8, and there's no place we can be that's separate and apart from God's presence. Our God's love finds us, no matter where, no matter what's going on in our life.
Cool. That was a good one. It's cool. Well, we felt that today, I'm sure. make sure you check out Logan Street Signs and Banners. What is the website out there, Peanut Gallery?
LoganStreetSigns.com.
LoganStreetSigns.com. I don't think I've ever shared that on there, but we're getting so technical,
And
so advanced.
What's your new one?
Oh, my new website. Well, if you go to totherescuein.com or ttrnetworking.com. So you're going to find me there, but it's actually pretty exciting. It's a whole new website. I'm pretty excited. So got a lot of good things happening. And thank you to all of you for checking us out here. And maybe we'll see you next month. Yeah, we try to do it once a month. Doesn't always happen on the first of the month, or the first week of the month, but it works out usually that we can share what's going on, the big
What's
stuff,
coming up. Sure.
the good stuff that's coming up, and we're almost into the
Holidays.
Scary stuff.
I saw my first display at Costco.
Oh, well, they're out all over the place,
Yep.
so I'm surprised that was your first one. Maybe I shop in different places, but it's making me a little scared here. It's coming very quickly. We'll see you next month, and that will be October.
Yep.
Oh, my goodness. Take care, everybody. Thanks for stopping in. Thank you, Pastor Al.
Thank you.